That's so awesome. And then the the fact that you, you, they're dragging you technologically into this world, right? And
Yeah,
they're
but I gotta like disconnect because my brain gets fried after being on this thing for 4 to 6 hours a day. And
absolutely.
I need human contact. You know, I'm an extrovert. I'm not an
Yep.
introvert. So um, it's like if I'm talking to Ashfaq on here, I swear to God, it's like he's sitting right next to me, and I'm just assuming that he's fixing everything. You know, like, oh well, he'll take care of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. Uh-oh. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Look at Sarah. There's Sarah. Sarah, I
Can
had to
you
take
guys
you
hear
off.
me?
I had to take you off my phone because between the three of you and me, I couldn't get any of my messages. I couldn't read anything. Every time there was,
You kept
every
popping
time.
up on your feed. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's too much for me. I have to find a new app. I'm going to have to talk to you through Signal or something. Um,
We'll figure it out.
okay, that
Hey,
sounds good.
so couple quick things. Draco, are you going to have a Substack link for us?
Yeah, I already shared it in our Zoom chat, and we are in live right now.
Oh, we are. Okay. So it's in our Zoom chat as I don't
It's in
see
it's in the IOD
anything in our
feed,
Zoom.
and I got
Oh,
a yeah. I
I
put a
got
note.
you.
There was a
I got you.
notification that came up on my
Yep.
screen. One of the
He's
things I
so
remembered.
good.
Oh, I got to log
You are
Okay,
on.
cool,
so
cool, cool.
good. Too good, Sarah. Too good.
Yep.
I just pay attention to the
Hey,
notifications on my phone.
everybody.
At least I try to.
Yeah,
Hey, Joel.
I don't.
Hi,
We've
Hey,
Ashfaq.
noticed.
everybody. Joel's here. We've got the whole team here. We've got Ashfaq, our agent of peace. Uh,
Draco.
we've got or excuse me, we have Draco, our agent of peace. We have Ashfaq, who has Kurt Cobain up there. Um, but that's really Ashfaq. They're from Bangladesh. They're working on our team.
Draco agent
We
of peace.
have we have we have Deborah, who is leading the online Democratic women's movement. Okay. And we have Sarah, and Sarah's been with us a couple weeks, and she has stepped in. There's Rebecca. They have both stepped up to the plate. Um, all three of them are going to be leading tomorrow for online suffragette Saturday, where hey, Rebecca, how are you? That's
Good. Good
tomorrow
morning.
is going to be
Oh,
good
Amazing.
morning. It's going to be primarily led by Deborah and this team, which includes I'm assuming that Lynn will also be there. Karma will probably be there. So they're gonna take you through some stuff, and they're gonna start talking about what women are doing. Teresa, it's your first time here, so we are. What's that? Oh, we got some audio in the background. If somebody can mute that. Um, so Teresa, Karen, Intrepid. There's Lynn. She's definitely a part of our team. Patricia. We are iodnations.org. That's International Online Democratic Nations. This is a group that I founded it in different ways. I've been working on this over the last 10 years to promote online citizen-led democracy. Now, um, as we've as this has been evolving, as our live on Substack has been happening, the primary audience that has joined us or who is leading this online citizen-led democratic movement is women. And Deborah Mazzarelli, who you see on the screen, stepped up. She's a three-time New York State Assemblywoman. never lost an election, ran both as a Republican and as a Democrat. She said that she wanted to grab this thing by the horns and make it happen. In her words, if I remember correctly, it was, I've been looking for something to sink my teeth into. So Deborah is going to lead the group tomorrow, Online Suffragette Saturdays. So Teresa, yeah, if you have to go somewhere, here's what you should remember. And I'm going to repeat this later on, but I did a little exercise today. I grabbed my phone and I went to my Substack where I get all these notifications and all these different people who are posting things and commenting on them. And I was looking at them generically. And I reached the point of over 50 of them, and not one of them was talking about solutions. Every single one of them was talking about problems, what they're upset about, what the latest thing is that has happened, but none of them were actually talking about a solution and a way to fight back. And we've got this group of women here who have decided they're going to get a bunch of women to unite online and they're going to kick ass. And so when you come in here, we will talk about a bunch of things. I'm gonna wait until we've got a pretty good crowd here. Usually, once we launch our live, then Ashfaq and Draco and Rakesh and a couple of other people, they go to work behind the scenes and they're starting to post this and share it and get people here. Patricia, we're gonna give you real viable solutions, ways that you can watch and support, you can get involved and participate in, or you can step up and lead like Rebecca and Sarah have done, and obviously Deborah. So we're going to give it a little bit more time to let some people come in here. Hey, Ramona, how are you? Welcome. Um,
Hey, can I talk
Sarah.
Debra for a moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Debra, if
Yep.
you go to Substack, you'll see a notification that IOD Nations is inviting you to be a co-host. Just accept the invitation. You don't have to do anything else, okay? And like they will show you are a co-host of this show, and it'll probably get more people involved, okay?
Okay, are you talking to me, Ashfaq, or is
Yeah.
there another Deborah? Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay.
Sorry for
Let me just interrupt for 1 minute. Patricia, are you the Patricia that I contacted this morning or last night because you want to get so involved and I said that today would be a good day to join us? Patricia? And I said that today would be a good day to join us. Today's your first day to join us, right? Okay, someone named Patricia contacted me 3 times, and I said, be patient because, I had a lot of emails to answer that day. And I wrote back and I'm wondering, are you that Patricia who has so much experience and wants to get so involved that I said, please come today and
I
tell
can
us.
see Patricia say yes, but not sure if she is referring to your question. We don't have anybody currently in the Zoom call named Patricia. It's just Sarah, you, me, Rebecca, and the team IOD Nations. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, no, I was just curious as to whether that was the Patricia that contacted me. So I guess not. Okay. It's not on Substack then, right? Ashfaq?
Yes.
On.
Yep. Substack.
Is she from Substack?
Yeah, she commented on Substack, and so Patricia is saying she's new here on Substack feed. I think you should, go to Substack and enable the co-host invitation so that your account gets connected with IOD Nation and more people can find out about us. Okay.
Okay. We'll see, maybe.
I mean, if you don't get it,
Well, I'm gonna do it too.
have to worry about it.
Talk about the need to do something about the.
Okay, wait a minute. All right, so I'm gonna go now and get out of there. Oh, no. Stop. Stop, love.
It was a good experience, and she likes.
All right, so what do you want me to do when I get there?
Go to activities.
In
I mean, your
truth,
notifications or
that
activities.
gives me too much credit because
I'm sorry. What did you say, Ashok?
Yeah, go to Substack and
Right.
then your activities, I mean notifications, and you'll see a notification from
we have
IOD
friends
Nation.
in our lives, family members, many of us who were.
Oh, yeah, I should have did this before. I have to do this before. I can't get Lev to get out of my screen. Come on, Lev. Out of there. Okay, I go to
Activities,
there.
the bell icon. Activities, the bell icon.
Got it. I got activities.
Okay, now look for IOD Nation's notification from IOD Nation that says you are invited.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
accept that, and we're good to go.
I do not see that in activity. It should be like right on top, right?
Well, I mean, if you can't find it, let's not worry about it. Let's continue with the show.
Okay,
Real quick, there's somebody
what
in the
is Joel?
Substack asking question.
Sure, Sarah,
Okay.
go ahead.
There's someone in the Substack asking questions.
Okay. Do we need to answer those like right now?
Sure, let's access them now. Can you do that? Because I can't.
My personal Substack account is suspended, but it will be unsuspended soon. So, Rakesh bro, can you jump in and help us a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Just tell me where is it, Sarah? On IOD Nation's post?
It's in the, yeah, no, it's on the post where we have the live video.
All right. Okay. I will take care of it.
Oh, I don't have a live video connection here. So that's part of the problem. Where do I get that live video connection to Substack?
It's on Substack. It's on
Okay.
our account.
Yeah, but is it under my account?
Yes, if you go to under your account and the
Right.
activity, you'll see the notification. If it's not there, don't worry about it. Just come back and let's talk to people who are.
Let's do the show. Can you get, all right, Sarah, you know what? If you can see the questions,
Yeah.
can you repeat them?
Yes, they just are
Thank you.
asking if we go over what we're going to cover today because they have
Okay.
some things they want to add if necessary.
Okay. First, I'm going to say, if they have a lot of things that they have to cover today, we're doing this tomorrow as more of a woman's overall picture of what we're doing to resolve the Epstein file crisis and help to help the survivors. I think today's program is going to be mainly Joel talking about IOD nations. Epstein file crisis and help to help the survivors. I think today's program is going to be mainly Joel talking about.
So I was hearing the same thing again, and I can see probably Joel dropped off because of internet connection or something that I don't know. So I guess it's up to Deborah, you, Sarah, and Rebecca to continue the show. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Not a
then
problem.
there's no problem. But I will say, wish I had known that. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to iodnations.org. My name is Deborah Mazzarelli. I'm an assemblywoman, used to be, 3 terms. The organization that is represented here today is a digital democracy that Joel Coleman thought of 10 years ago and has been working on for 10 years. I'm here as a guest. I've only been with IOD Nations for 4 weeks, but we're organizing women right now. We did part of our movement was Suffragette Saturday for No King's Day. That was the first event. And we're so interested in, instead of protesting what's going on, resolving it with, issues and actually acting on it. So we have a campaign that is focused on the survivors of the Epstein-Trump child rapes and the incidents that have gone on with the Epstein files. We're still trying to get them to release them. So we are doing an email campaign to the attorneys and women's groups on behalf of the survivors so that the attorneys can take all these emails from hundreds of thousands of women, and we mean across the world. We don't mean just the nation. If we can get so many women together to get action and to uncover the cover up that our government's been doing for the past 50 years. Kate Justice did a wonderful expose of that this week. If you go to Substack and look up Kate Justice, Ellie Leonard also did a lot of coverage on it. But that's part of what the first issue is addressing Epstein files, getting them out, and also getting the information to the attorneys that, as women, we demand to be heard. We want the women to receive the justice that they still haven't received. So that's the goal right now. There will be future goals, which you'll identify as women working together. Sarah's with us. She's got an issue. She's a veteran, and she's going to be helping to organize women veterans to address the issues that have impacted her and all the other women in the military. I'd also like to say Rebecca's here, and she's an expert in public relations, communication. Rebecca, smile and say hello. Introduce yourself.
Hello, sorry. Cat walking by the screen at the exact importune moment. Hi, I have had many jobs. I've owned a couple commercial real retail businesses. I've owned a couple manufacturing businesses. I've worked in a public relations house, and I've been a nurse. I mean, I've done all kinds of things. So
Right.
I'm used to speaking with to people in all kinds of different forums.
Great. Okay, well, Sarah, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your service?
My name is Sarah Labrada, and I'm a female Army veteran, and I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis while in service. And the military has all kinds of stuff that we need to work on and fix. But the issue is with the military is our women are underrepresented. We don't get ranked as high. We don't get ranked as quick.
Right.
We're pretty much ignored.
Right.
As
So
long as
it's
we're doing our
pretty much,
job, they leave us
it's the
alone.
story of women in America, period. It's really the
Period.
story of,
Okay, I want
Yeah,
to
it's the story
interrupt
of
a
women in
little bit.
America, just in the military.
right.
Okay.
And Joel is back, so
Yeah, Joel is back and Karma is back, and Lynn was asking
Hey,
if
Joel.
this show is
Hi,
recorded.
Karma.
So, Lynn, yes, it is recorded, but unfortunately, I cannot write any messages. My Substack account is suspended for the time being, so sorry about that. Somebody, Drake or Rakesh bro, need to address the people who are writing in the feeds. Okay, so please carry on.
Hey, Karma. I'm sorry. I was paying attention to something. I don't know if Sarah or Rebecca or Deborah was going to jump in there.
now we were
Go
waiting for
ahead, Deborah.
you. So no, go
Okay.
ahead, Joel. We were waiting for you. We did your introduction.
Yeah.
And we were
We
just
just
Yep.
waiting for you.
filled in the blank, Joel.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm just trying to get some more in our crowd. We're at 25 right now, and I want to keep it. I'd like to get a decent size audience before I go into this stuff. And typically we get a big rush of people coming in after about 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm going to hang on and just sort of chat. So Ramona, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. The women have shared in a $121 million settlement from the Epstein estate. Many were over 18 and signed NDA. They shouldn't get both. Uh, Ramona, I just think a lot of people would feel differently than that. Being blackmailed into signing an NDA at 18 or 19 years old after being sexually assaulted doesn't, I think the majority of women would probably think that they should still have the right to speak out. And
Yeah. Yeah, let me just say, we're not writing to the attorneys urging them to sue for more money. We're writing to the attorneys so that women of the world can be told exactly what's been going on for the past 50 years with the trafficking of children to white elitist males and also females, the abuse of them. We're not going to make judgment calls on DNDs, which I particularly hate, and NPAs. Alex Acosta, let's talk about that. We've got a non-prosecutorial agreement that the Attorney General for the United States signed with Jeffrey Epstein, covering up all of the men's names. That it's not sealed. It shouldn't be sealed. It was illegally done to begin with. They violated the constitutional rights of every single victim by not even telling them about it. And you got an attorney general who's now fired who covered that all up. All those men's names are on the NPA. All they have to do is open the non-prosecutorial agreement. As far as do not disclose notices, I don't like them. But you know what? It's none of our business if somebody signed a DND. There may have been victims that maybe got $75,000. And the trauma that they're enduring, look at Virginia Giuffre. It cost her life. You don't know how many women lost their lives during this entire 50-year sex trafficking scam. These kids really have been taken advantage of. The trauma that they've experienced is more severe than if you've never experienced it. I can't explain it, but it's traumatic.
I'm going
Go
to
ahead,
throw
Joe.
something in there that I think just gets missed in all this. Okay. And we need to understand we're not just talking about what happened to these girls and these young women in the past. These motherfuckers are out there, they're still doing the same shit. Okay. They're not being prosecuted. They're still being allowed to collaborate. They're still being allowed power and influence over the world. We've got what the hell did you call them? In Nazi Germany, concentration camps. In essence, we have a military police system in the United States right now that has locked up, depending on the numbers you see, that they've locked up somewhere in the neighborhood of 17 to 22,000 people. Okay. They are, we know if you follow the reports and you look at what's going on, there are women and children who are being raped in these facilities where they're being illegally held. Like only 2 or 3% of these, okay, Lynn's saying it's 70,000. Only 2 or 3% of these even have any criminal activity associated with them. Then, then what they're doing is if these women or these young women are pregnant, they're shipping them off to Texas or somewhere else where they can't get an abortion. You got military police in the United States of America documented raping women and then shipping them off to other concentration camps so they can't abort the fetus of being raped by our military police. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit about a non-disclosure agreement. Um, this this shit needs to stop now, and it will not stop unless women grab power and influence. Nobody is going to give you this, okay? Nobody's just going to say, "Oh, we're sorry. We shouldn't have done that. Let's be nice to the women now because we were mean to them and we didn't mean it." That shit's not going to happen. Okay?
No,
The
and
only
that's the whole
way,
of the movement. The whole purpose is for us to exert power on the white male elitists that have been taking advantage of a system filled with rust. Women need to get more active. We need to be a sisterhood together. We have to join together and fight the fact that we don't have equality. I mean, I'll stick with the United States because so many nations don't. But here in America, we used to have close to equality, and it's disappearing every single day. Our right to vote, all our rights are disappearing. We're becoming incubators for white male elitists so that we can carry their children and cook their meals. Well, I'm not going to go back to the days of the 40s and 50s. I want my rights back. I want my granddaughters. I want all the girls to grow up and have a real life and be equal, treated with respect, dignity, the same as men treat each other. So don't let men divide us. We need each other. And that's, I know that people get upset when they hear men talking about women taking power. We don't need anyone telling us to take the power. We have the power. We need to use the power. And that's what we're trying to do right now. Use the power to influence the government, the Congress that's on vacation right now, who's supposed to be representing us, using the power to get them to get the release of the Epstein files. It's the number one priority because Trump, believe it or not, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, that's just impossible." In 2016, I found a civil court case, Katie Johnson versus Trump and Epstein. And the civil court, and I said, civil, how could it be a rape of a child be a civil case? In the state of Florida, they considered if you took money for the act of sex, you were a prostitute. Didn't care how old you were a prostitute. So they didn't charge Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump or anybody with rape. They used it as a prostitution case. So poor Katie Johnson, if she gets raped, a whole bunch of people get raped. They might have signed DNDs. I don't care. I want to know why weren't these cases that went to the FBI? The FBI knew about them since 1994. Why didn't anyone follow up and charge these men with the crime of child rape or rape? I want to know why it's been covered up and why nobody cares today. I mean, I can't understand why Donald Trump raped a little girl and then Jeffrey Epstein followed same day. Together they raped her. They physically assaulted her. They threatened her. The judge issued an order of protection for Katie Johnson. And I had the wrong place. She was raped in Manhattan, not Florida. She was raped in Manhattan. So she filed papers on her own, and unfortunately they got scrubbed, lost. In 2016, we had a wonderful system of government whereby the primaries for the Republican Party that were carried out, somebody paid off, a fixer paid off some people and the media so that bad information about Trump never became public. And that fixer, he covered up a Stormy Daniels, just as an example of one little thing that he covered up. He paid off the media not to report that story. Well, the media was paid off not to report a whole bunch of stories, especially because we're women. I don't think any men were worried about being protected. It was, the men were protected, the women were the victims, the children were the victims, and nobody cared about that. Everybody on Epstein, Trump, a whole bunch of people knew what was going on. Did anybody come forward and say, wow, there are kids being raped? Look at this. Wow, this is something. We should address this. Maybe we should do something to these men who are so violent, who are sick, who are demented. But no one did that. They covered it up. If you knew, if you're a Trump voter, if you knew that, would you have voted for him? We had a little bit of election interference going on, and it prevented a lot of people from possibly voting for Hillary Clinton. You know, it's possible. I'm just saying it's possible. But nobody cared. And I want people to know that I care. I know a whole bunch of people who care. I know that everybody here cares. And I want to know why Donald Trump, unlike Prince Andrew, hasn't been charged with the crime of raping a child. I don't understand. I totally
So,
don't understand.
so I'm gonna, I mean, I gotta tell you guys, Deborah has been leading this stuff on women's rights for years and years. I think was it 96 that you first ran for office, Deborah, in New
No,
York
it's not
State?
1994. 1994.
Okay.
Oh, don't age yourself.
So,
We're done with 96. We're good.
okay, so everybody who popped in here, we're up to 54 people. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before I go into my presentation here, but you're in a different live chat. We're IOD Nations, International Online Democratic Nations.org. The women that you're hearing talk here or you're seeing on the screen are they've they've stepped up, they've learned about what we're trying to do with IOD Nations, which is unite citizens who are pro-democracy online. We believe that if a business no longer requires brick and mortar, then a nation no longer requires land and borders. So there can be an online democratic women's nation, an online democratic veterans nation, an online democratic art nation, a U.S. online democratic women's nation. The women that you're looking at here, Deborah and Rebecca and Sarah and Karma's with us. Jenny is back here. And the men who are in here, we've had a number of men involved in this, and I'm the one who created this IOD Nations idea. We are not here just to talk about problems, okay? We are going to actually, when I get a few more people in here, we're going to outline a method of solutions, okay? Ways that you can actually unite as women online, implement certain tactics and strategies and affect change, okay? And that's what makes us different. I commented earlier, you know, when we only had a few people here, I'm not really good on social media, okay? But I get a lot of Substack feeds, and I went through an hour or two ago, I scrolled through my Substack feeds and I got up to 50. And in those 50 feeds or comments or articles or everything that I read, not one of them, not one of them was asking people, do you have any ideas for solutions? How can we actually work together and accomplish something? Okay. They're they're not talking about solutions. Yeah, we're all upset about what's going on. I mean, Deborah and I and I think it was Karma was the one who originally shared the offer. If you haven't seen it, it's about the artwork on the property next to the
Zorro, yeah.
Zorro Ranch, where some of the most horrendous acts were evidently committed against these young women and girls. Okay. Um,
Hey, can we
Brett,
welcome?
I'm not.
She
Go ahead, Ashfaq.
she seems new. Hey, Brett, welcome to our live show. We're really happy to have you here. Can you tell us where you are from and how you find us?
You're talking to me?
And
Yeah.
It came on my feed and I decided to show up.
good.
I'm always looking
And
for,
it-
I'm
it-
always looking, I'm always looking for answers. I think women should be in charge of the planet because there would be a lot less war. We make babies, we
Yeah,
don't kill them.
exactly. So,
Um,
and
But
and
I'm
is
too old
this
to
is
run
this
for, I'm
Brett?
too old to run for, yes, this is Brett, and I'm too old to run for office and too sick. So I don't really want to do that, but I have a big mouth and I have a lot of really good ideas.
Great. It's the
Okay.
ideas we want. It's definitely the ideas that we want,
Well,
Brett.
I've been saying for months now that I've been concerned about the election. I've been before anybody started talking about it being a problem, I knew this was going to be a problem. And I was wondering why the Democrats weren't on top of it to say, we know this is going to happen, we have this plan.
That's right.
Coming up with the plans for us. So that brings us to this tax issue. The Republicans aren't doing anything for us because they're following Trump's orders, right? And the Democrats are slow because they're always going by the rules. This administration is not playing by any rules, they're making up their own. And so we have to think creatively and figure out ways around those rules, not by breaking them or being violent or being whatever they're doing, but being smart and figuring out a way to get him out of and his crew, this motley crew, out of office, right? That's what we need to do. And so when I see these posts about this morning, I felt like there was a real shift, and I started seeing posts um, about us um, taking back, right? Taking back the
Right.
government, but
Yep.
in such a way that it was like not just impeachment. Impeachment isn't going to do it. It's got to be, what was the phrase they said? Oh God, what was the phrasing? I'm just trying to find the phrasing in my head. I have pretty bad memory
That's
these days.
okay.
Um,
Hey,
if no, they were saying not impeachment, but we have to put him on trial for treason. Because if we get him on trial for treason, then we can take out his whole administration in one
Right.
fell swoop. That's what
Right.
we need to be working on. I don't know why the Democrats haven't even brought that up, which brings me into another thing that I read, which I thought was a really important point. And that point is that now I forgot. I spent too much time talking about it. What does this say?
let me cut in, Brett.
All right.
I want to step in and say something. So, what's different about us? So, the the there was a quote. Buckminster Fuller
Yeah, I
is
saw him.
probably one of the greatest futurists in the world and a great inventor. And
Yeah, I saw him
Buckminster Fuller
speak once.
said, "Did you really?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, "Don't fight forces, use them. You never change things from within. If you want to change something, build a new model that makes the previous model obsolete. We are intended to be architects of the future and not its victims. Dare to be naive." And what we're here, and the women that you see here, they are daring to be naive enough to believe that we have this opportunity to
Yeah.
unite online. And no other generation of human beings have had this capability. Right now, every woman who's here, we're going to put an email in here. It's Deborah at iodnations.org. She's going to be holding a live feed tomorrow. It's going to be online suffragette Saturday to unite women online. And it is going to happen. Okay. It's just going to happen. But we we have to we have to stop playing by their rules. We have to
That's what I said.
the
Yeah.
women of the world need to stop playing offense or defense. You need to go on offense. And the way you go on offense, if you understand how power and influence works, there's money, right? Money buys power and influence. But the other thing that the two key ingredients for freedom and democracy are numbers of human beings and how well they collaborate. And that is what democracy is. It's all about how many people do you have collaborating, and how well do they collaborate? And so we're saying in this age of the internet, you can collaborate just with a mouse, right? Or with a
Yeah.
tap on your phone. You can go to a location and collaborate. And um, then once you do that, the question becomes online, how do you exercise your power and influence? Okay. And to your point, um, you mentioned doing it, within the law or without violence. Sun Tzu
Yeah.
said the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Opportunities seized multiply. And so what is going to happen here is these women who are pro-democracy are going to unite online, and they are going to seize these opportunities of how to collaborate. And so in just a bit, we're actually struggling a little bit today, Ashfaq and Rakesh. We're not getting, for those of you who are here yesterday or Wednesday, we had an audience of, I think, 436 at the end, and we're at 61 now. So I'm
Hey,
kind of
Joel.
stalling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I have at least like 7 or 8 others that are live right
Yeah, a lot
now.
of
So
people are live
once
right
those
now.
lives start coming down, we'll get more people coming in.
Right.
Okay.
Like you've got
Okay.
Adam right now. Dr. Stephen Hassan is on Blue Amp Media with Ellie Leonard. She is live right now. Miles Taylor with Defiance.org is live right now. And they've all got really big audiences. So
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Thank
that
Okay.
you,
makes sense.
Karma. Thank you. Yep.
So, hey, Lynn was
Hey,
saying,
Karma, it's good to see you.
you too.
Ramona asked a question,
Hey,
five
doctor.
of people. We need to address that.
Well, okay, so Ramona, so you're here and you say, what are you guys going to do? Kill all the conservatives? Nobody here has talked about killing anybody. Nobody here has talked about hurting conservatives. Um, you're a card carrying tribal member. So Ramona, you could actually under the IOD Nations org, this online democratic nation format, you could create the online democratic indigenous peoples nation. Okay. And you can run for president of it. And the indigenous people who form that nation, you can create your own constitution and your own declaration of independence and your own bill of rights. Okay. We're not, conservatives can come in and do this, and they can create their own online conservative nation. We need that to happen.
I'm
You
indigenous.
can be,
I'm indigenous.
there we
I'm a
go. Hey,
veteran.
Dr. Jesnel. So, Ramona, for some reason, and I'm not going to go into it too much because we're not here to argue and fight with people. Okay. We're here. We're a large group of people who are here to form online democratic movements and nations. And if that interests you and you would like to learn about that and participate in it, we don't give a shit whether you're conservative or not. We welcome you. Okay. But if you're not interested in working and talking with the people who are here and the women who are here about how to establish themselves as powerful, influential pro-democracy women, either you might want to come back later when you see more how it's done, or we just might not be the group for you. And we don't mean that in a nasty way. We don't want to kill you. Okay. There's none of that going on. We're just telling you this is a group of people who are uniting online democratically. And they may have some different views with you. Go do the same thing with the people who have your own views and come back. As long as you're pro-democracy, the people in here are going to want to work with you and support you and all of that. But it is not pro-democracy to prevent the release of the evidence that Congress and the Senate voted. I think only one person voted against it, was that this evidence should be released. And the NDAs don't matter as it relates to getting the evidence out there. And the vast majority of people who are pro-democracy understand that when Congress and the Senate pass a law in a democracy, the Department of Justice is supposed to enforce the goddamn law. That's how democracy works. And the people who are accused, yes, they're deemed innocent until proven guilty. But that's the law, and that's democracy. And the women in this group are going to become the world's first and most powerful online democracy. And that's all there is to it. So I hope that registered with you a bit. I hope it gave you either something you can agree with and be a part of, or you can decide that maybe this isn't the right group with you. But nobody wants to kill you, I can promise you that.
All right, I want to interrupt a little bit to welcome Dorothy. She's on our Zoom call right now. Dorothy, welcome to IOD Nation's live stream. You can unmute yourself and let us know where you are from, how did you find us, and all of that. So while we're waiting, Joel, you can continue. So actually,
all right.
Brett was writing something on the Zoom chat. She was asking how we can stop taxation related stuff. So Brett, can you come in and talk about that idea of yours?
Look, in our history in the United States, we fought a revolutionary war because we were being taxed without representation. It seems to me that's going on right now. We are being taxed without representation. The Republicans are ignoring their constituents. They're voting haphazardly according to whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. They're not listening to their constituents, but they're having to face the reality that in the next election, they're probably going to be voted out. So it's either they're going to be voted out by Trump or they're going to be voted out by the public. And that's the first thing that we have to, reckon with is the Republicans. But the Democrats, they've been saying all along that they've never seen anything like this. I mean, look, I knew going into the second term that it was going to be this way. I had whatever premonition I had, it came true right away. I knew this, I saw this happening, and it has not even veered a little bit from what I envisioned. All right. So the Democrats have to be more creative. They have to be able to look at the situation and figure out how they can get around it. That's exactly what Donald Trump has done for the first term and in the second term. The first thing he figured out was how to get his people in office without having them be confirmed by the Senate, right? So he did this whole temporary thing, a temporary appointment. And then he just either kept firing people and putting new people in, or he would just keep changing the guard. So he found out once he figures out what the rules are, the first thing he does is figure out how to disobey them. That's how he's rolled. This whole life has been that way. So why aren't we doing the same thing? Why aren't we figuring out how to roll with the system and change it for our own benefit? How come we're not doing that?
We have to be part of the system to be able to do that. We have to create a nation. We have to have a lead. We have to be able to have abilities to do that. Right now, we just need to form a nation to do that with.
You have to raise hands. Raise hands. It's not
Yeah,
cool.
Rebecca
Raise
and
hands.
Karma already raised
Yeah,
hand.
Karma is the
So
first one to raise hands.
yeah,
So let's hear
Karma,
from
go
her.
ahead.
How do I raise a hand?
I was
you.
actually going to suggest that we start using the raise hand thing, being there's so many people on here, because
Yep.
what a lot of people don't realize is when you cut in on someone else while they're talking, it blocks you both out, so no one can hear what either of you are saying.
Yes.
Just from
So how do I raise
experience
my
on
hand, Karma?
Substack, you go down to where the heart says react. Click on that, and at the very bottom it says raise hand. You see it?
No.
Hang on one
I
second,
see the
baby.
heart, but I don't see a
There's
raised
a
hand.
heart that
I see
says
reply.
react.
I
If
see
you
reply.
click on it,
Copy.
So they go to.
I see reply,
Sometimes-
copy, and
Yeah,
quote.
same here. I
There you
couldn't
go,
find
Deborah.
it.
My raise hand is a completely blackout circle right now. There's nothing next to it. So there might be something right next to your emotions for hearts and hands and things, but right on to the left, all the way to the left of that should be your hand. It's a
Yeah,
it's
Joel,
a
that
completely
that
open
means
space.
everyone has like a different setup. Then everyone has their preferences mixed
Joel,
around.
are you
Mine
on
is just
Zoom?
a default. So
Joel, mine is under the tab more. So you just have to search for it.
Yeah,
It's
I am still like I'm a tech savvy guy and I'm having problem finding that as well. So
Wait, I found them. I found the more.
Do you see reactions?
No.
Reacts in the middle.
Oh,
You
I
see
see
also.
reactions. Yes.
Okay, if you
Yeah.
click on reactions at the top, okay, click on reactions. And then right at the
Yep.
top of the box is raise hand. On mine.
That one doesn't show on mine.
I don't
well,
see
you're
that.
in the right
Wow,
neighborhood.
I'm getting there, guys. And in just a moment,
okay,
we're at
I
70.
did the raised hand on Deborah's post, but it didn't show up on the screen. Sorry, we are doing
Oh, there it is. I got it.
while we're
Okay.
live.
Okay, guys, let's move on from hand raising thing. And Karma, you go ahead and share your thoughts.
that because if we continue to talk over each other, it might push some people out. And I don't want to lose people. I want to bring people in. Also, there in the chat on Substack, there is American Citizen. That's a friend of mine. Very intelligent. She did put her email in there. She has a crap ton of ideas. She stays completely anonymous, so you can call her AC. But I do believe she would like to join the discussion, and we would get great value from what she has to say. And also with Brett, you asked about taxes. She makes it clear that she's not a financial advisor, but she is very financially savvy as well as tech savvy. So really good resource.
AC is?
AC, yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of step in here because I'm not gonna wait any longer to really talk about the things that I wanted to talk about in today's show. So I'm gonna cut to a few things. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to everybody here. So understand that today's show is really a setup for tomorrow's online suffragette Saturday that Deborah, Sarah, Karma, Rebecca, Lynn, they're all going to be leading, kind of be on the side and leaving that to move forward. So what I want to talk about, and AC, if you want to get in on this, I would love to get you in here, but I'm going to go through a couple of things. First of all, what is things always unite, numbers of them, and they collaborate, and they had tribes and then communities or villages or all of this. And finally, the pinnacle of human power and influence right now is a nation. Okay. I quoted Buckminster Fuller earlier. a nation, if a business no longer requires brick and mortar, then a nation no longer requires land and borders. Okay. Any group of people can unite online. And if they're large enough, they can call themselves a nation. We do it in sports. You know, we've got the Warriors Nation for the Golden State Warriors, or the um, the Yankees Nation for the New York Yankees. Okay, a nation is simply a reference to a form of human beings who unite together and collaborate. But from a social and a political standpoint, nobody's doing it democratically online. And one of the groups of people who are now suffering the most for this are women. Okay. As we talked about early in this, you know, right now, I don't, I don't mean this, I don't know if categorically is the right word, but let's just set aside or forget about the women, the Epstein survivors. Okay. Survivors. Okay. Let's talk about the young girls or young boys who this is happening to now. We're not we're not even looking at the evidence to prevent this from happening. You've got the people of Great Britain are demanding the evidence because they want to prosecute pedophiles, and the historically appropriate way for people to defend and protect democracy and women's rights than to unite online. If if the formula is number of people and collaboration, we can get, if we had a large audience today, or if we had 1,000 people here, okay, you guys can become powerful. There are ways to put together email campaigns, phone campaigns, um, boycott and sanctions that individual citizens who are united can impose, right? You are not powerless. So when Brett is talking about, and everyone here is, and Jenny commented and said, how do we get our government to do it, right? How do we get our government to obey the law? Well, you're not going to get them to obey the law by saying, hey, obey the law, stop being bad boys. Okay. They're not going to listen to that shit. You are going to have to grab them by the neck and rub their noses in the fact that you are now united, you're collaborating, and you influential women, you're going to force them to listen to you. Okay. This is democracy. The reason why we're all here, and most of us are older, we got raised thinking that our responsibility for democracy was to go vote. Well, we may not get the chance to vote in this next election. Everyone here is talking about, oh, we're going to wait for the election, we're going to vote them out. They're going to have military police at poll booths. Okay. They're going to shut down mail in voting. You could find yourself waiting for this election. You could have a 70% women and, indigenous people and, conservatives who believe in democracy and climate activists. You can all unite online with this mouse. And then you can model the integration that Taiwan has done. Taiwan has been running a online citizen-led component of their government for 11 years. They have shown how this can work. And they've gone from when they started, their government had a 9% approval rating, and now it has a 7% approval rating. But not only can we integrate these online citizen-led democratic movements locally and regionally and state and national, but you can put women at the forefront of it. Women can be the ones who lead this movement. Women can be the ones who define how this online system works and how you make sure you're heard, right? You have this ability to control it. So Jenny says, or they're going to rig the voting machines. This is it. Jenny says, or they're going to rig the voting machines. This is it. They're doing all kinds of stuff. There were something like 68, all kinds of stuff. There were something like 68 court cases related to voter fraud or whatever, where conservatives were claiming that the elections were rigged or false by Democrats. Every one of those lost in court. A lot of them were to conservative judges. So they're coming back, and if you wait for the election,
5 hours, are all of these announcements saying that they did an audit, that the CIA and I think it was the NSA did an audit, and Kamala won, and Tim Walz, they won by a large margin. So this was in Rockland County.
So they've already
They know
proven they
this.
can rig elections. They're
And they
already
did
showing
it.
they're going to do it. So when are we going to stop talking about that and do something about it? When do we start moving on and stop
Well, I
getting
don't know.
wrapped up in what they're
Well-
doing?
well-
We're going to do it here. This is what we're
Okay.
doing.
Okay, fine.
So
Let me know when you figure out
is-
what you want to do.
I'm telling you right now, we figured it out, and here's how we're going to do it. So
Okay.
what I
Hey,
tell
Brett,
people is,
Joel, we're already
ahead.
doing this. It's not what we're gonna do. We're already doing it.
Okay.
thank you.
So let's shift our mind frame on that. We're already doing it.
That's exactly it, Rebecca. We're going to create a new model that makes the previous model obsolete. They can go rig the elections, right? The women of the world can unite online, and the women of the United States can unite online, and you can frickin' rig who gets into the elections. And I don't mean rig it by breaking the rules. I mean rigging it by changing the rules and imposing your power and influence. And imposing your power and influence. So to give people a better idea of this as we continue and we start prepping for tomorrow's online suffragette Saturday, here's something I want to say. Who here remembers in the earlier days of the internet? Does anybody remember when there were people and there were groups and they were creating applications? So developers, look, Dr. Jesna was one of those, and you had to pay to use that application, and that was in the 70s and 80s. And then what happened is this company named Netscape came along, and Netscape was a big operating. I don't really understand all this, but I understand the overall concepts. Netscape came along and they said, if we try to get everybody to pay for this, it's way too competitive. We're going to give it to them for free. Come use Netscape. You don't have to pay for our application. And what Netscape, there's a key point here. What Netscape realized was that the value of the internet, the commodity of the internet, the thing you needed on the internet was a large group, an audience, followers, citizens, whatever you want to call them. And if Netscape got a large enough audience, they then became a powerful and influential force on the internet. It's kind of like Amazon did it first, right? They operated losing money because they knew it's open source, exactly, Sergeant Rock. And they knew that it was Sergeant Rock. And they knew that it was the size of the audience. It was the size of your base. That was the base. that was the value of the internet. Now, have you seen anybody say we need to take the size of the base, make it free to join, and make it pro-democracy, right? Because the minute you do that, right, now democracy becomes the defining open source element of the internet. Because if you and make the live chat that's happening are the people who are now responding to you because you're so powerful, right? Flip the script, become offensive. And so, how do you do that? Once, yeah, welcome in the newcomers. Bring them in, Karma. Who can we bring in?
We already have quite a few people, so let's welcome them.
Okay.
American citizen Dorothy. We are really happy to have you here. So go ahead. Yeah.
I would like to throw this out to AC. Is AC in here and able to talk right now?
Yep. Yeah, AC is here.
Okay. So AC.
Yeah.
What do you think by what I just said? How does that resonate with you? Do you think, oh, that won't work or that would work? Give us your input.
I think that we need to partner. There's people like the Linux creator. There's some people who actually did a lot of for free things for the internet, like PGP and Zimmerman. And if we were to connect with some of these people, I think they would be all in on something like that. And some of them have a lot more money than we have, and that we need servers that are not in the United States. I would say at least 2 different servers, so that if anyone were to shut one down, you'd have a backup for everything. And so, I think that if we were to contact maybe some universities, because these are the people who have, it'd be really great for a PhD program for them. They would be like a twofer, and they could set up a computer with a RAID and with firewalls on it. And because we need the physical hardware in 2 different locations, no matter how we do this, we're going to need something like that, that's not built on the tech bros stuff. So we can, if we could get a short list of some of these people that we could contact, whether that be, I'm not sure if Phil Zimmer is still around or not, the creator of Linux, that kind of thing, we could talk to them. But I would look at some.
Be with you on the tech aspect of that. So I'm gonna talk about the tech aspect of that, and then I'm gonna come back to what you said about contacting people. Okay. And I'm just gonna. So John says, give an example. We form a group of 1 million in the U.S. I'm gonna give you, John. I'm gonna give you the best fucking example in the world. So in Taiwan, they've been doing this for 11 years. There's an app out there called Decidim. There is another one, I believe, that is called pol.is. And then you have the way that Taiwan has done it. So we actually have a guy who's working with us. He was very he really educated me on what was going on in Taiwan with their movement and how they got 50% of the citizens in Taiwan are now online using this platform with their government. MIT's written about it. Uh, um, Munich is meeting with them. Barcelona, I believe, is using Decidim. And so my point there, AC, is the the most viable method may be to work with some universities and others to develop that. I'm totally I have 150 political science professors that I've been emailing and I can't get shit out of them. But the other side of this is
I would go about that a different way. And the reason is you have to work with people. It's not about what you want, it's about what they want. And so I wouldn't go at the professors at all.
Our email outreach and our email objectives. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to speak to John when he talks about his example. I haven't forgotten about you, John. And so, AC, what I would say to you, one of the challenges that we have right now is we don't have enough people to do all of these email campaigns and to reach out to these people. So when you talk about that from that tech standpoint, we are actually looking for someone who would come in and help create and organize that email outreach campaign. Just as simple as we've got guys here.
I'm sorry. I have a little bit of ADHD, so let me
Me
go
too.
over
Me
a few
too.
things here. I was a project manager a long time ago in a different life, and so I just have a couple things here. When you reach out to people, you have to have some objectives, and you have to have some particular goals. I think obviously you have the goal that you want to do something like V Taiwan, which I think is great because it's actually been built somewhere else. I think then you look at something like a deep AI or something, and you can say what are the main goals of creating something like that, and you have to have that framework, and then you discuss it with the group if that's what your mutual goals are. And then it's not just the hardware. You're gonna need software, and you're gonna need someone to maintain it. And so I do think the PhD programs are best because these are people who want to do it. And then maybe they could discuss with their professors that these particular universities will help the maintenance of it, and that the next group, part of their duties will be to take care of it because we need to actually have maintenance. And I would say, some of the things we needed to discuss, and I don't know who is here who has hardware and software backgrounds, but I'm thinking you're going to need a RAID system on this, something that's a backup. So if it were to go down, and something that has a firewall on it, I would assume some kind of VPN. The other thing that you're going to need to do, because I sent this to you guys the other day, was you're going to need to know like users. And this is where with my ID, and I'm going to have this kind of access level to get in. Okay. And so my access level is going to be, I want to participate in how to help with climate change, right? That's a global thing. All right. Or I want to be a part of a geographic area. Let's say that's, I don't know, California, India. I don't give a shit. Like, okay. So then you're going to have the back end. And this is where you're going to need to start small. I know that's not what you want to do. And you're going to want to have a general framework of what you want to do in the back end. So usually what you do is what's called a beta test. Okay. So you want something small, so we as a group decide to say, let's say, okay, it's just geographic. Let's just say it's based on your country because that's really freaking simple. And there's less than 200. Okay. And then you say, okay, so we're going to base on that first. And then you have the back end databases. Okay. But we have to have, as a group, a discussion of, okay, because I know you're saying we could have this. Okay. We need to take a deep breath and we need to have scope. Otherwise, we're going to have scope creep and it will never get done. Right. And so then you say, okay, we want, because what I'm telling you is you have a couple different requirements here. And I think that easily you could try to, I'm not saying easily, but it's going to be one of the easier things, is to look at a couple different universities, look at these PhD students and say, this would be a really great project. You could get published. This would like, oh, right. Like, oh, they're like, they're loving it. Right. And then they could sell this off to their department as saying, this is something that would require minimal maintenance and that, the future classes coming in could help maintain it. Okay. But what I'm telling you is that you also have to have a framework for the back end that we need to discuss. And that is your database levels.
Okay. I totally agree with you in a lot of ways, but I actually want to, the point here is this. We have an audience right now of about 84 people. Okay. I'm going to bet you that 98% of us are over 50 years old. Okay. And
well, obviously not Rashish or Kurt, because some of these and Karma, they're all freaking young.
Yeah. But here's my point. If we make this an in-depth discussion about the hardware and software of an online platform and how we have to have that before we organize and before people unite, we may never get that done before the next election.
No.
What we're saying is, wait. AC, I need you to give me a minute, okay, please. Okay. What we're saying is this: you've got these amazing ideas. we need someone like that to come in and work with us and take on the tech aspect of this, because I still have to come over and talk to John McMahon and tell him, what can these women, what can these people do by uniting online before that system is in place, right? We have to demonstrate to them both that there's this online integration and governance model, but we have to also demonstrate that right now we're in a crisis and there are things that we can do right now without that model being there yet. And the two are not mutually exclusive. We can
Exactly.
go over here and work. We can work on our email campaigns and all of that. And we can get this amazing gal, AC, and she or someone else and this group of PhD students, while we're building our nation and all these people over here, they're busting their ass and they're doing their work on the online platform. And so I don't want to get bogged down in the platform. I want these women who are going to meet tomorrow, Deborah, who took this on to lead the women's group, she took it on with offensive campaign to get the Epstein files released. Okay, that's their objective, and she's using that because so many women are feeling at risk in so many different ways. That's what she's chosen. So I'm here as a part of IOD Nations, the group of people who have stepped up with us to make this happen is this group of women and this amazing woman who's a 3-time New York State Assemblywoman. And that's what we're committed to. But we desperately know that we need this tech and this younger audience and all of this. But that's another aspect of what we're working on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can get that. I have a lot of things. I'm sorry, I'm ADHD, so I'm thinking in like 4 different routes right now. So as
Me
far
too.
as Deborah, give me a second because I got like 4 different things. They're completely different things. So Deborah, if you're talking about the Epstein thing, something that I don't see anybody doing is Virginia Guffrey, Nobody's Girl book. The collaborator and the publisher have all the names, and France also has all the names. And if France were to if they were to subpoena them and to put that information out on their congressional floor, that I think is a way that no one is looking at this. I've not heard. So that's for you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
And then, because I think we definitely need to go at that. That's one thing. Something completely different to
I
get
think
things.
it's hard to subpoena. It might be easier now that Bondi's gone for a subpoena to be issued.
No,
you know,
what I'm
but I
saying
don't
is France. Have France go after it. France is already going after the Rothschilds in the Epstein files. They're already going after Elon. So have them go subpoena. So you could go to France's government and say, hey,
expose the cover-up that's taken place for 50 years. Because it's not just the Epstein files, it's the corruption of the American government.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to have to come from outside the government to get it done. Okay. And so like, I think if you went to France, I think that is our best bet. And I think if you want to hammer these guys hard, and I have this on United We Stand.shop, United We Stand.shop. It's a shop of free ideas. I don't make a dime on it. Go to towards the bottom, and there's 2 different ideas. One is that you can actually go to foreign entities and you can say, why are you not freezing the passports, freezing the business licenses of all these people that are in the Epstein class so that we can actually start taking their money away? Then when you're doing that, you're also doing this. These are the people who are funding our government corruption. When you defund them, you defund the big pillars. Okay. So that's how I would go about that. And I would go from outside to clean up the inside. That would be my thought process.
Okay.
I think now, as far as taking the pillars down, there's only one other thing on that website towards the bottom. And I just put a post out on this, is that right now, if we flip like 3 or 4 seats in the Senate and 3 or 4 seats in the House, we flip this entire thing on its head and we can impeach and stop this war. Okay. And I have a way that you can do that. There's actually like a toolbox of how you can investigate people. I think people like Jim Jordan and Lindsey Graham are dirty as shit. I think that you have people like Mitch McConnell who are death on a cracker, who are on something now. Do you think that would make a difference?
AC.
So that's your thing. Now, as far as IOD nations person, I'm not sure what your first name is. In regards to this, all I'm telling you is this: is if you have this book you've already created, what might be really advantageous if you were to make, let's say, a 3 or 4 max paragraphs of what you want to. If you go and do this, you do need some parameters of what you want for the back end databases, and I have no clue what you want for that. I don't have those requirement sets, and until you have those requirement sets, it's very hard for me to go to these PhD students. Rashik is actually nodding. He's nodding with me.
Rakesh.
I'm sorry,
Rakesh.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Okay, so I need you to give me a couple minutes now, okay?
Yep.
What you're talking about when you say if you can just create this outline, okay? We're a small team. I'm creating articles, comments, videos, trying to put together a YouTube channel. We're trying to promote this idea in multiple different ways. So what we're looking for, I think your ideas are brilliant. I am so freaking encouraged by your enthusiasm on all of that. But when we met on Wednesday, I want to give you an idea. If you look up on your screen, you're going to see Sarah, Rebecca, and Karma, who you know, right? When we talked about this on Wednesday and we said we can't handle all of this, they stepped up and said, we want to meet with you afterwards. We want to help you do it. We will help you create email campaigns because we know you can't write. You do it. We will help you create email campaigns because we know you can't write all of them and we know you're not being able to keep up with all of this. So when 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 you talk about this, you can be 100% right, but if we don't have the bandwidth, the money, and the man hours to make everything happen, we have to prioritize those things. Now, so that's one aspect of that. But here's the other aspect. Let's say we're talking about we want to get France, if France would subpoena these records. Now, if 10 of us, and this is for you, John McMahon, if 10 of us right here email France and say, how can we help get you to subpoena these records? Or what other countries are doing it? Can we get 5 countries to subpoena these records, right? If 10 of us send an email for that, there's not much chance we're going to get a response. I've been trying to reach out to Ukraine, to all kinds of different departments for a couple of years off and on. Now, if we have 1,000 people here and we send 1,000 emails at once that all say the same thing, how can we help get you to subpoena those? We might get a response. Now, if we send 2,500 emails or 100,000 emails, and it's all from this online Democratic Women's Nation or group, they're going to go, hey, wait a minute. How can the French government work with this massive group of pro-democracy women? And then we're not just talking about getting those things subpoenaed. We're talking about France and this online Democratic Women's Nation. They're now collaborating as a powerhouse. Okay.
Well,
what can they do together?
I'm going to say this, though. You kind of have to get your chicks in a line before you do that. And you're going to your chicks in a line before you do that. And you're going to want to bring up an idea. But so here's this is all I'm saying here is I think there's a lot of different great ideas. And I agree with you, the more people on something. And maybe what you do is you focus on one thing, the more people on something. And maybe what you do is you focus on one thing a week and you have all of your viewers put out a post on that exact same thing and ask all of their people to send one email and have an action item every week. I think that's the best way you're going to get that done. But as far as what you're saying, what I'm saying is I know you've got a lot of things going in a lot of different directions, but we need requirements. And when you go to these different places, and I don't have what your requirements are.
I need you to understand, Rebecca and Draco and Deborah are going to meet with a large group of women. They're going to be the ones who decide what emails they. you have this ability to unite online. And when you do that, you get to determine your own objectives. You get to make your own rules. You get to decide whether what AC is recommending is a top priority or whether emailing the attorneys for the Epstein victims is the top priority. That's not for me. It's not for you. It's not for Sarah. It's not for Rebecca. It's not for Deborah
No,
or any of
what I'm
us.
saying is this virtual network thing that you want to do. Okay. That's what you're saying you guys want to do. Okay. And that's great. I think it's a great idea. And you're saying, you know, you need somebody in the back end with servers and to email these people, and that's fine. And I can look into doing that.
We don't need servers to email them. I can email 1,000 people right now without a server. I could email 1 million people. If we had 1 million people who wanted to send emails, they don't need a server. They just need to send the emails.
What I'm saying is your virtual network, because you got a couple things going on here. Deborah's got her thing with France. Okay, let's set that aside. Now you have this thing that you want to do, which is why I originally came out here with Karma, was that you want to set up a virtual network of citizens. I think that's a great idea. That virtual citizenship will require servers. And you were saying you went to these professors, you didn't get a lot. And I said, I think you need to go to the PhD students or people who want to be PhD students, and they need a project.
Absolutely.
And they need a project. And that's you're giving them what they want. But what I'm telling you is before you can take that letter to them, you have to have what your requirements are. And I don't know what those are. And so that's
and
what
neither
I'm trying to, you said you wrote this book, so I was just trying to get that information from you is all. That's all.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm not technologically savvy to I mean, I understand what you're talking about, but I don't completely comprehend the aspects of it. But I'm not worried if 5,000 people support it or whatever, then you move forward and you deal with it. I'm not here to tell people how to do that. All I'm saying is with phones, emails, and spending habits, the women of the world could unite online and become an international power. And they can do that without servers. They can do that without anything other than what's available on the internet right now. They can put together email campaigns, phone campaigns, and other buying, boycott, um, other things like that. And I could go through and give you all manner of explanations of how email campaigns can be constructed in a very offensive manner that could bring any state in the United States to its knees. You can bring any corporation to its knees. They have this power without what you're describing. And so when these women meet tomorrow, what I know that what Deborah wants to work on is the whole aspect related to the Epstein survivors. Now, what Rebecca's going to be working on is a couple of things. She's going to be working on how can we use Rebecca and Draco are going to be, how can we use email campaigns to accomplish that? And how do we use our email campaigns to bring in more people? Because that's how elementary people come into a live chat here. It does more than talk about what the problems are and all of that. They want to make sure that they give people something they can actually do to make a difference. And I'll end it with this. I went to, I think everybody here, most of us went to the No Kings protest. Phone. You could pick Deborah, you could pick the UN, you could pick NATO, whatever, you could pick Indivisible. Hold up your phone and say, we want you to send an email to Deborah at iodnations.org and say, I would like to become a citizen of online democracy. That's it. Just send Deborah an email that says, I want to become a citizen of online democracy. We would be sitting here talking right now with somewhere between 1 million and 7 million people who did that. And we would be having a totally different discussion. Rebecca would be over there with Draco, and they would be talking about some of the most innovative, email campaigns that you've ever seen because there would be so many people involved in it. And that is how we start achieving change now. That is how women step up and say, hey, you bastards, we're united over here. We're collaborating. And God damn it, you're going to have to listen to us. And that is where we are in this process right now. We're at this elementary stage. I think what you're recommending is a good idea, but I think you need to present it to these women and let them decide what they want to focus on. I'm not the one to convince with this. If you have that and you want to get involved in it, we welcome, need, and desire you. And you've got so much to offer. I know these ladies would just kill to have you in there with them, but just understand where we are in the process right now, and understand that that group of women are going to be the ones who choose where to focus their efforts. You see what I mean?
I've been writing some stuff off on Karma and this. What was the other person? There's another lady on here. Susan,
Sarah.
I think Sarah. They wanted
or
to speak,
Rebecca.
so I'm going to give the group.
Let's give
Bye.
it to them.
I'll let them talk. Sorry.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.
Sarah, Karma.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
the only
Sarah.
thing I want. Okay, the only thing I was going to say is that Karma is not Karma, my brain. AC is very forward thinking. How she says that we need to have all those computer things set up in the background, and we need to have all this set up here. She's very forward thinking in that way, in the sense that we need to work on technology for our age groups are very important. So emails are great, but emails can also be like, and done. But if you have all this extra stuff behind you where you're pounding them automatically with us having to write all of it by ourselves, it's called it's I wouldn't say it's AI, but it's an automated response system. But that requires the background of it. You gotta have all this technology floating around in the back of your head to make sure that all goes out the right way. And I think that's what AC was trying to explain without those actual words. I hope that helped a little bit.
And before Karma cuts in, what I would say to you, Sarah, is make Karma and AC connect, and you guys start figuring out how democratically you're doing, right? You guys figure it out. This is, I go back to that quote. I love saying this quote with you because of your military background. I never, ever, I've never followed George Patton that much, General Patton, but he had this quote and he said, never tell people how to do something. Unite, discuss the ideas, but fucking discuss them with the idea that every day when we're done talking, we're at least going to do something. We're different. We're part of IOD Nations, and IOD Nations mantra is every day we're going to accomplish something for freedom and democracy. And that's just what I believe, and that's the foundation of how I did this. Karma, what do you think?
About what specifically?
Anything.
My neighbors just pulled up. I got distracted for a second.
Okay, no worries.
So when I raised my hand earlier, it was right after you had mentioned Ukraine. I don't know if you're familiar with Lev Parnas, but he is really in with the Ukrainians. He is Ukrainian, I believe. But he's also running for Congress right now. So if y'all want to bring him, like get a hold of him or somebody can reach out to him, he'd probably be up for helping right now. I mean, not saying, just because he's running for Congress, he's more open to it, but I think he would be more open to it now since he is trying to actively make a difference.
I think that should be, again, a part of your guys' discussion with Rebecca and Draco and Deborah tomorrow. Okay. This is an online democratic women's movement. Okay. I see
Okay, Deborah.
two priorities. Okay. I see the fact that we need to make sure that we're doing something all the time. And Deborah has identified that as reaching out to that number of emails that you send, they're a tool and a weapon to achieve power and influence for women. Okay. And if the reason that Deborah wants the Epstein files released is multi-layered, but primarily it's for a couple of reasons. Okay. She wants little girls and women to stop being raped. Okay. She wants the people who conducted that to be prosecuted and punished. Okay. And she wants women to get real power and influence. So I mean, Deborah will speak up in just a second, but those are the priorities for her. And those are why she stepped up to lead this women's group. And these other things that AC and all of this are talking about, AC could meet with Ashfaq and Rakesh. You know, AC doesn't know it yet, I don't think, but Ashfaq is working on a social media platform behind the scenes and a way to integrate where people can put in ideas and vote on them and rank them and that kind of stuff. There's other stuff like this going on behind the scenes, but I'm here to make sure Deborah and I made a commitment. That's been her mission her whole life. I'm doing it because I'm passionate about IOD nations, and women are the first one who stepped up. And so if women stepped up to help make this happen, I'm all in. I'm here. Rakesh, Ashfaq, Draco, the guys work.
Holding up my hand for quite some time. Joel, you need to,
Okay.
notice that. And Dr. Jasmine
I didn't see it.
saying that we really, really need to apply Robert's rule. By that, I think he meant that we need to check out this hand sign and address those. And I actually want to hear from Dorothy. She's been here for quite some time now. Dorothy, if you can hear us, you can unmute yourself and tell us where you are from and what do you think about what you are hearing.
Yes, Dorothy, come
Dorothy.
on, say something.
Yeah, I can see her camera. Maybe she's trying to unmute herself. So Dorothy, you can come in when you are ready. We are going to continue our conversation. So Deborah, please continue what you are saying.
Oh, you'd like me to talk now? You want me to talk until Dorothy gets back? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay, you got it. She can't find the unmute button. Help her find the unmute button.
Okay, so Dorothy, actually we can, Draco, if you can hear me, you can unmute Dorothy from the, settings.
Oh, on the bottom of the screen. The first symbol on the bottom of the screen.
Let me request unmute. Okay.
Did you get it?
No, I can still see the.
Draco, you can unmute her from our nation Zoom.
Yeah,
as
I
your
am
host.
signed in from. Yeah, Joan can actually do it. So if you are signed in from IOD Nations Zoom, you can unmute Dorothy. Or all right, let's keep going. I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna keep.
I'm a big fan
Let's
of
let Deborah
technology
talk.
is working one of two things: working properly or pitching against a concrete wall. So I guess we're at the concrete wall moment.
Oh, wait a minute. Deborah, before you say anything, I want to make an announcement to everyone who's here. Rebecca, who is running this email part with Draco, Rebecca is doing all of this from a cell phone, and she doesn't have the ability to get a laptop. So is there anyone in this group who either has a used laptop that they could donate to Rebecca for her to help run this whole email program for this online women's democracy movement? Or is there anyone who would help and throw in a little bit of money towards one? Because we're going to get Rebecca a laptop before this day is over. Hey, Rebecca, do not let me end this today without addressing this with you. Okay. We need to get you set up. You've volunteered your time and your energy to make this happen. And one way or another, we're going to get you the tools to help make that happen. So please don't let me forget.
Look at the chat. Don't leave, Rebecca, without looking at the chat, because AC made a suggestion as to where you can get a laptop.
Yeah,
She's been gone a
I was going to
while.
say, Miss Rebecca's been gone a little bit. She had to go and take care of something in her family.
Yeah, so we'll get back to her. Don't worry.
Okay, great. Okay, good.
Give them hell, Deborah.
All right. Now that I'm calmed down, because I'm going to start with, again, we can address any issue that you want, but right now the issue is the Epstein files. So that's my main concern right now, although I have a multitude of concerns with what's going on in our country. That's the first one. I believe that if we can resolve that issue, and I wanted to ask AC and Karma if they would take it upon themselves to write to the French government and ask them to subpoena for the names of the people that are in the book that we know. I mean, I know all the names too. That doesn't mean anything. Thomas Massey read a list of names on the floor during session. So some of the names are out there, but they still haven't been arrested. And the reason is there is no coverage of this. There is absolutely no mainstream media covering the issue of Donald Trump being arrested and Leon Black or charged, whatever, charged and arrested, put out on bail or held without bail.
They're not,
whatever.
it's not being covered because right now the government has their hands in our news media.
That's the oligarchs are what are controlling us right now. That's why I'm saying if we don't focus on the one issue that will reveal that Donald Trump is a child rapist, we're never going to get him out with everybody else. And it sounds terrible for me to say that about our president. I didn't vote for him. A whole bunch of people did. And a lot of people got tricked and duped because nobody had the information. No one was given the information because there was a cover-up. So it's our responsibility to join Lev, Dean, Zev, to the lawyers. I'd say send them to Congress, but Congress is gone. Congress is on vacation. Congress isn't listening. They don't care. We can send them to Jamie Raskin and the few that are out there that do care. That's a wonderful objective, and we might do that. If we can get enough people, we'll have those people sent to Jamie, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. We'll make the list up and we'll get them out. But we need more. We need numbers. We need women. We need everyone. And that is the point. The point is right now, if we can organize and get that group together and resolve the issue of the Epstein files, getting rid of the regime, then that same group can become its own nation with Joel and support issues that they identify that need to be addressed. Somebody mentioned taxes. I have no idea how you would handle that. Somebody mentioned, so many things. The military, the fact that there are women being raped in the military who have no recourse because white men control the military. We need to get organized. We need together each other. We need to protect each other. We need to go forward as an actual unified group. Protect each other. We need to go forward as an actual unified group. We can't have men dividing us anymore. Men have spent their lives dividing us. And the wealthy men that are controlling our nation right now can't have that power. Trump is an idiot. Trump is an orangutan. He's an orange blob, as some people refer to him. He doesn't have any brains. Please listen to him. I can't. I'm sorry. He doesn't have the brains to make this operation work. It's an oligarch that is controlling this world and this society in America. They will take over the world. If we don't stop what's going on, there's not going to be democratic nations anywhere. It's up to us right now. Fortunately, the court came through the first time in a long time. The Supreme Court followed the Constitution, and we actually have a chance now. That's the way I'm looking at it. So we have to get together. I'm going to give it back to Joel, but ladies, please, it's women for women. Okay, men are going to help us. I mean, my husband's a feminist. I know so many men who are out there that would die to join our group and help release the files. Not every man is Donald Trump or Jeffrey Epstein. Most men are good, decent. The oligarchs
look at who you've got here.
Right. All the men here are great. And we have so many men that would join us, but as women, we're the majority. Let's lead this movement. Let us move this. We have to move the needle. It's got to go away from Trump and back to democracy. We need America back, and we can do it if we join together. So that's my request, please.
Imagine, so we're going to share an article that I wrote a while back that included a template for an email to the attorneys of the Epstein survivors. And we have the email addresses in that post, that article that was on Substack. Anyone here can copy that template and use it and just put your name on it. You can edit it and make it work for you. You can rewrite your own letter to them. But our objective there, we need to build the numbers of women who are in this group. Okay. That needs to happen. And that to me needs to be a part of the, doesn't have to just be that email campaign. Can you imagine what, I think his name was Les Wexner or something like that.
Yeah,
He was
the
the
owner
one.
of Victoria's Secrets. Yes.
Okay.
Les Wexner.
Imagine Victoria's Secret gets an email from 2,500 women. We're the online democratic women of the world, and we're coming after you. Okay. You are owned by someone who we believe should be prosecuted, right? For child sex trafficking, okay, rape, and likely murder. Okay. So Victoria's Secret, we want you to know that until that son of a bitch is prosecuted, you are on our shit list. And we may send you 10 emails today, but next week we may send you 10,000. And we're coming after your asses. And the point is, if you turn an email campaign or a boycott into a very specifically targeted proposition with an actual objective or a couple of objectives that you want to achieve, it'll have amazing power and influence. But what you have to do, you got to get enough women in here who are willing to and want to participate in these email campaigns at iodnations.org. Email her. You can email and say, I want to be a volunteer. I'm, and I actually want to come in and work with Rebecca and Karma and Lynn and Sarah.
So
Who? Who?
American citizen.
Come on in,
Oh,
AC.
I've had my hand up for a long time. So did Karma. I forgot what I was going to say. So I've been writing stuff
I
on the
can't
side.
see it, so I apologize.
It's fine. So I just put on here, some of the things we can do is, and I agree, there's a lot of people on here. It's not two people. So we can divvy up the work and go in different directions as long as we know who's doing what, right? And we absolutely need to get numbers. I absolutely agree with that. I also want to see people in jail. I like to see more than that, but we can't say those kind of things. But here's the thing is that if we bankrupt them, they can't pay off the system. And so, like on that website, the United We Stand shop, there's the Move Money movement. But I think, and I sent this to Deborah in her email, but it won't let me paste here. Is at the bottom of that United We Stand shop is the international letter you can send. It's not just a subpoena. What it's asking is you could send this, and when I sent this to Deborah, it has even emails in it. You could send it to France and Germany and Australia saying, these Epstein class, you could freeze their passports so they can't come in your country. You can freeze their assets so they cannot use their money. They're overextended. They've over leveraged themselves, you guys. You can do things like you can't work in their country. You can't do things like you can't work in their country. You could actually seize their assets within those countries. And if you bankrupt these sons of bitches, those countries, and if you bankrupt these sons of bitches, then guess what? They aren't holding up these congressmen anymore. And then they can go after them. So I'm just saying that sometimes you have to play, it's a chess game, and you're not going to get what you want in one move. So, and I think that is a really great way to get what Deborah wants. What a lot of us want is to do the bankrupt first. Now, you got to get people behind that. I say once you guys get your emails the way you want, you go to your unions, you go to your senior. Our economy is going to crash. That's going to go
It's going to
haywire.
happen before then, I think.
That's why I said I think that's going to be beforehand. And obviously around the elections, things are going to get bad. But now I've said what I'm going to say, and I see Karma has her hand up and she would like to speak. So I am going
to
go
for it, Karma.
So the kind of what I was trying to get to the bottom of yesterday. So as far as this live stream goes, because I myself am a little overwhelmed at the moment. For this one that y'all do, it's is it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays?
Yep.
What is the purpose of this specific live? Is this to get more viewers, to attract people into, like, is that what the purpose of these are?
So for me, the purpose is women are the group who stepped up when Rakesh, Ashfaq, Draco, and I started doing our Substack. Okay. We started at the first of the year. I've been a coward this whole time. I didn't want to put my face out here. I'm not comfortable being here. I don't like being in this position. Okay. But I realized there had to be a face. And so the purpose of all of this, Karma, is my hope is we're going to spin off and do a little working group like we did on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, that's why I was wondering this live specifically, because
it's just to attract more people.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I feel like, if we just kind of because AC has mentioned it as well, because I know we all have our own like ideas and stuff like that. If instead of the back and forth of what everybody is going to do, does that make sense?
It does. What I'm trying to do, though, the reason I'm doing that back and forth is because I have gone into these other live feeds in Substack and I've tried to comment and I can't get anybody to engage, or I have to spend $5 or $7 or $10 to even be able to comment. Okay. And like I said at the beginning of this, the other objective of being here today, I want emails to go out today, right? I want I want people to come into this group, and I want them to feel like they came to a place that's actually fucking making something happen. Now, is
Right.
it
That's like
consequential right now?
part of what I was wondering. You say you want emails to go out today. Like, what emails do you want to go out today? Like recruiting emails to have more people in, Epstein emails.
What I really want is, I don't want to tell you what emails those are. I want to cut into a group like when I spoke to Rebecca and she said she was going to step up and take on this email thing. Okay. I want it's kind of the same conversation we just had with AC. I, I think you should be focused on two things. I think you should have an email campaign with an objective. Deborah Mazzarelli is the one who stepped up to lead this, and she has said, I want to focus on Epstein. So I'm here to support her. It's she had the guts to step up and say, I'm ready to help make this happen. So if that's what her goal is, Deborah's mentioned reaching out to women's groups and trying to get to them. There's political influencers. We just don't have enough people to make all of those email campaigns happen. So my objective is that when we roll into a working group after this, I would hope that there's 5 or 10 more women or men here who say, okay, I get it. The emails we send today may not make a difference, but it's part of building this machine, this women's nation. And there's 4 women who are helping Deborah now. I want to make sure that when we're done today, another 4 of us stepped up, or another 10 of us stepped up and said, God damn it, I'm going to help them too, because I'm tired of just seeing everybody talk about what the problems are and not offer solutions. So sending the emails and beginning that process, Karma, and then bringing more people in, that is the objective of this live chat. And to let people know that there are other people out here working in a way that will ultimately make a difference. And then on top of that, this whole concept that the pro-democracy women of the world could unite online and become a world power. That, I I think that should be talked about every time. I think that should be a major objective. So that would be a third one. Does that answer your question?
Can I add something to what Joel said?
Go.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, Joel, whatever Joel said that is our objective, but what we are also doing here is creating a beautiful community where you can come in, talk. I mean, I have here, you can, talk about your ideas, and we are real people here listening to you, and also streaming it to the world, to our audience. I have never seen something like that. So this is the beauty of this community, and I hope you liked it. So go ahead, AC.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Karma. I think Karma wanted to talk.
Okay, so Joel, Deborah, Sarah. Does anybody?
AC, did you want to? If Karma didn't have anything to say, AC, did you want to throw something in there before we're going to start moving towards
Karma,
the end of this discussion?
I guess Karma is having some trouble with her mic because
okay.
Karma,
yeah, I could see her trying to talk, but it wasn't coming out.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering this. I'm just wondering, is there like a email list of the people here? Not that I have to have all of that, and that separately from that, kind of like an Excel spreadsheet, that they state you can have up to 3 things you're interested in helping, and say, okay, one is the Epstein file stuff, one is trying to do the hardware stuff, one is, okay, and that we actually need to actually do in work groups. And then what we should be doing is the work groups probably 2 to 3 times a week. And then once a week, we get the people. And what we do is we summarize what we've done during the week to let people know what we're doing to attract more people, So like, who's got that list? Where are we doing the task list?
That is the exact next step, AC. You just nailed it right on the head, and that's right where we are.
We do have the list already, Joel, and it is already. They've done a great job getting the list with the workers and what area they're to everybody talk about their ideas. First the people, then but emails every week, as I thought we all agreed. Emails every week to the attorneys from everyone that attends the meetings and is on the list. So that I thought we were doing. Like, is the letter's there, and I think people pull it off. AC said she can't do copy and paste with it. So
no,
I don't know.
I think she was talking about something else.
You a copy and paste in your email. I just couldn't get it in the Zoom meeting. It wouldn't go in the Zoom meeting. So I sent it to your email.
Okay.
But I think, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody wants to do the tech stuff, or someone wants to do, there's the subpoenas, the emails, getting people, you want to get people, you want to do the emails. I think more people better, but I think right now we're gypping ourselves by not getting something done by saying we have to have 1,000 people. I think that's crap.
No. We're sending the emails right now. That's already started.
She's just saying that's her objective.
Chill out. That's it, and Nora.
Well, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, so here's what
to send an email.
AC,
here we're
to AC.
Yep.
Okay, AC. I mean, so you have ideas, right? I actually feel the same thing. You are feeling on something else.
Yeah, there is a lot of area that AC can help us with.
So yeah, the thing that interests you, we can work on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent you something, and if you have a bunch of people that you want to work with, like, we'll send that to me. Let's have an off meeting group. It's been a long time since I've been in IT, so I'm not trying to say I know everything.
All right.
I wish you a longer life than him.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to throw out there to everybody who's listening here right now. Okay. AC nailed it right where we stand. Okay. We need the next group, the next women who are interested in helping organize and provide structure and support for different email campaigns. Okay. So AC might decide that she really, if she wants to get involved and be a part of it, she may decide that, and it seems like her skill set and her ability and what she is really brings something to the table is the technology aspect of it. Okay. Rebecca has come in and she said, I'm going to take this email part of it and work with Rakesh, and I'm going to make that happen. And so that structure of, what are our email strategies? Well, one is, how do we attract new people? Two is, or as a part of that, we need to get to some influencers or women's groups or college professors or whatever it is. And you organize it, make it happen. Put those assignments into some different groups. Get them to break out a little bit. Come different groups. Get them to break out a little bit. Come back to Deborah and to Rebecca and say, okay, I'm working on the tech emails. This is what we're doing. I've got 1 or 2 people helping me. This is the template we're going to send out. How many other people can we get to send this template out? Okay. And then Rebecca's going to be working on the ones, and Dr. Jesnel saying Robert's rules first. I'm not familiar with the Robert's rules, but I keep hearing it mentioned, and somebody should do it. Evidently it's so then our message, our message to everybody who's here, okay? We are iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org. If you go to the website, you can read a book about what this online democracy is supposed to be. You can also read a really interesting conversation with AI about what online citizen-led democracy can become. Okay. Deborah Mazzarelli, former New York State Assemblywoman, she is leading the women's component of this. Okay. So they are going to meet tomorrow at the same time, 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's going to be 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the online suffragette Saturdays. And that's for all of the women who are here to collaborate together as women and to become a powerful and influential force. So that's there. I'm going to cut to Angela. Hey, Angela, thanks for jumping in.
You. I just wanted to say there was a point where I was on the work group, I believe, with AC, and somehow Substack had kicked me out, and so I don't have found you. And I wanted to say that real quick.
So let me clarify, Angela. Had you seen us before and then you lost contact with us? Is that right?
Yes, yes. I was
Okay.
in with AC because her voice is really familiar. And I somehow got unsubscribed. I agree. She's really good at the technology portion of it, just hearing her talk other times, and the framework. It's pretty smart. I'd be willing to help any way I can. Not very technology inclined person, obviously, because it took me forever to find out how to get even on here.
Okay.
But
So
I'm willing to do whatever I can. I sure am.
You had something on. I didn't know it was going to be
Angela,
tacky like that, though.
So Angela, you have two options right now because we're going to wind this thing down pretty quick. So here's what you can do. We have an email that'll get posted again right now. Deborah at iodnations.org. If you don't want to put your email in the message here, you can email her and leave your email address. Okay.
I did email her, but I'm going to do it right here now again, just so you have it.
Perfect. So we're going to have a working group. We're going to break out. We're going to end this in about 5 minutes. I believe that we will have Karma, Rebecca, Deborah, Sarah, AC, anyone here is welcome to come into that working group. We're hoping to get 5 more people in that working group. What the objective of that working group is today is to assign some email categories and to get some people to participate in our email campaigns and help champion them in different categories. And then the other thing is to get people to participate in emails and outreach and social media that brings new people, some other people. In this group, it's Deborah's and it's women. Who else would like to come in with our working group at the end of this call and get to know these ladies a little bit closer and make this shit happen? This is what we're here for. That is our mission. So
I would like to.
we would love to have you there. So anyone else here, if you would like to come into the working group, just type "I'm in" down in the message. If you haven't left us with an email address, put it there. Can we get 5 or more women who would like to volunteer and at minimum, just come in and learn about our email campaigns and hopefully participate in them. All you have to do is say, I'm in. Just type it right down below. And make sure we have your email address.
Okay, so
If
Angela and AC said I'm in, but after 5:30. So we have two ladies. Also, Debra will be here. So we have three people and the team IOD Nations. Karma, will you be there? Karma, can you hear me? Oh, she was having some problem with her mic. So
Yes.
I don't see any new emails, but let's wait a bit. Maybe we show one of Draco's videos so that people can, while they watch, they can.
yeah, let me say one other thing. Should we be scheduling these meetings later in the day in order to make them better available for more people? Different time would work better for you? Yes. Is that yes to be in the meetings, or is that yes, a different time would work better? I'll leave it up to you guys to clarify that. While we're doing that,
while we're doing that, we can watch a video or something, you know. Okay, yes, later.
I'd love to join, but I work full-time standard. Okay, Max. Okay. So Rebecca, Sarah, to everybody who's in our core team right now, I think when you guys meet tomorrow, that I know that the Saturday meeting, we're really hoping that'll bring in a lot more people. I think you should also discuss with people, should we be creating a later time or a different time for collaboration that might be more helpful or more available to people? Maybe that's a reason why we're not getting some of the involvement that we would like. So tomorrow, let's try to remember to make that a part of the discussion.
Well, first of all, Joel, the list did not get sent out to everybody. We had 600 people or more because the request and the Zoom link was sent to over, I'm sure, 1,000 people. The contact has to be made with the people who have already joined IOD Nation and my Substack list and your Substack list and everyone else that we know. So it's got to go out, and the request has to be made to personally invite them. I didn't have time to do that this morning. I had to get my taxes done, but you have to. It
Gotcha.
actually has.
We have, two people besides us. That's AC and what's her name? Sorry,
Angela?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Angela.
Okay.
saw some other emails in the chat before, so let me take a quick look. So
Karma, you will definitely get a notification for tomorrow's meeting, I'm sure. Correct, Deborah?
I don't know, because I don't know who you're sending to.
Yeah, I just shared the link.
Wait, if Karma is a member of my Substack platform, she'll get it from me. But if she isn't,
we should ask people to subscribe to IOD Nations, because we are going to write an article and send an email to all of the people who are subscribed to us. That way,
when you say us, are you including me in that? When you say us, are you including the Deborah at iOS Nations?
IOD Nations, yes. So email Deborah at iodnations.org if you want to reach out to Deborah.
But wait, Ashfaq.
Yeah.
Are those people who are on Deborah at iOS Nation, are they
IOD.
getting a request nation? Are they getting the Zoom link?
Yes, we will send
Okay.
I'm just saying, whoever here in this chat are now not subscribed to us and want to participate in tomorrow's live meeting that we are having, you can subscribe to IOD Nations Substack. We are live right now here, so we can send you the email with the Zoom link and stuff, with the timing and stuff, you know.
Right, because you're giving me their addresses. All right.
Okay.
Okay, great.
All
As
right.
long
Well,
as you're keeping them.
okay. So we had Deb, Tung, Sandy, Cindy, Rose, all just came in. You guys are at a live chat for IOD Nations, International Online Democratic Nations.org. That is an organization that I founded to promote online citizen-led democracy, both from a macro international standpoint all the way down to a local standpoint. So if you don't know, Taiwan has been doing this for 11 years. They have 50% of their citizens united online working with their government. We intend that that's going to happen across the world and in the United States. Currently, Germany's pursuing it. Denmark's pursuing it. We know that Barcelona is using an application. Jesus, Rakesh, Decidim. Decidim for that. But we are working with Deborah Mazzarelli, who you see on your screen. Deborah has stepped up, and Deborah watched one of our shows, and she realized that if the women of the world unite online democratically, they become a worldwide power and influence that has never been possible before the internet. Okay. The only thing that limits the power and influence of women in the world right now is how many of you decide to unite online. And I believe that doing it the internet, I want to show people what this concept is, what we mean when we say online citizen-led democracy. But most important, Patricia, Irene, Ange, Colleen, Rose, everybody, Cindy, Sandy, Tung, Deb, what makes us different from every other live chat, we're going to roll into a working group right after this. And that working group includes women who are putting together email campaigns to support the Epstein survivors and to promote women uniting online democratically. And we have AC who came in today. She's really knowledgeable and has a lot to share from a tech background. And it may be that she takes that on. I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but that's what this is. This is a living, breathing online democratic movement. And if you want to come participate in it, you can drop your email in right now. We need people to help us out with these email campaigns. And we have people who can help you put them together, but that's what we're going to do. But right now, I'm going to show you a really crazy, but really powerful part of a presentation. What we mean when we say online citizen-led democracy. So go ahead, online citizen-led democracy. So go ahead, Draco. Can you put that video up? Hey, everybody. I'm Joel with iodnations.org. That's iodnations.org. Hey, can we skip to like minute 16? We'll go IOD. Script is going to decide that they want to. Okay, what you're looking at here, The first circle is planet Earth, and those are our continents. The second circle that you see on the outside of this is what happened 30 years ago when Al Gore invented the internet. Okay. And the internet has now become essentially an environment that surrounds our planet. Every business we have, every politician we have, every issue we have, every social media platform we have, every nation that we have, we all have tentacles that reach out into this internet. Okay. It is it's if it's not the controlling factor of our world right now, it's transitioning to that. Now, when you see the circle there that's Facebook, what I'm trying to point out to you is Facebook is not the internet. Facebook occupies a space in the internet. You do not access Facebook. Okay. We do not access the internet. We grant the internet access to us. I determine whether Facebook gets access to me. You guys determined whether IOD Nations got access to you. You clicked on your screen and you chose to come to us. And so what I'm trying to explain in this video is exactly that these entities that are occupying space within the internet, this is how we're integrating with them. And what we're trying to explain to people is the minute you realize we are the internet, without us you ain't shit. We are the internet, without us you ain't shit. We are the internet, without us you ain't shit. Okay? The minute we do that, we now have dominion. Okay? So now what happens is we come in and we dominate all of this internet space. And why are we able to dominate it? Because it's us. We are self-determinate human beings. We can collaborate with each other. We can establish these nations. They can determine their own Bill of Rights and their declarations of independence and their constitutions and their voting structures. If the International Online Democratic Women's Nation wants to adopt ranked choice voting, they put it up for a vote and they do it. Okay. If the International Online BIPOC Nation wants to get together and they want to collaborate with the International Online Education Democratic Education Nation, and they want to put together a whole online education system that benefits the Black, Indigenous, and people of color across the world, they get to do that because it's their fucking nation. Okay. It's not. Okay, it's not the assholes in red who are trying to obtain dominion over us. And so that is a preliminary kind of an introduction to what the power and potential of international online or national online citizen-led democracy can be. Now, I'll close this out on this. So you say, how or this, okay? A mouse and a phone. This is like a nuclear dirty bomb, okay? And this is like a nuclear ballistic rocket, all right? Because not the best analogy. Any citizen in the world can simply send a text message or an email, and if they all send it to the same location, they're all united there. And if they collaborate there democratically and they call themselves a nation, they are an international online democratic women's nation. So we want the women of the world to found the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. Okay. But Ukraine, the women of Ukraine can participate in that. Right now in the world, Ukraine can't get into NATO because Hungary's blocking them, because Putin is putting pressure on Hungary, because China is funding Putin to do that so that they can expand communism across the world, right? That's what's going on right now, right? China is funding these wars to weaken and weaken democracy and spread communism. That's the reality of the situation, okay? But you could just have a billion people, or you could start with 1,000. You could start with 100. We're going to be doing it. We do it after every show in our live feeds. We're starting to send emails, okay? And send it to NATO. And all you have to say is, hi, NATO, I'd like to become a registered online democratic citizen with NATO. And we would like you to publicly announce that you are in Dordo or an online UN. And we want to be the founding online democratic citizen-led nation that does that. So now all of a sudden, you have not just all the traditional nations or all the NATO nations, but you have all of these online democratic nations that are uniting, and Ukraine is one of the first who did it, okay? And I'm going to leave you with this. There are so many important factors, but what are some of the primary fundamental differences between online democratic nations and traditional land and borders based nations? Okay. What do you think might be like some of the fucking extraordinary differences that happen? Here's one of the most important ones, if not the most important one. These virtual nations that are established, they don't have land and borders. You cannot attack them with the military. And they are not a part of the existing governance of Ukraine, for instance. The online democratic citizens of Ukraine, they operate independently. They operate in conjunction with all of the other international or national online democratic nations. Okay? So if they collaborate and do something, you can't attack them with the military. It changes the power dynamics of the world. It fucking disrupts the industrial military complex, okay, which is already happening because the United States of America is getting shut out because we're now in alignment with the authoritarian fascists and communists of the world, right? And the rest of the free world is abandoning us. But if the or anybody who's fucking up world peace and starting wars like the United States is right now, okay? What happens is the pro freedom and democracy citizens of the world now control the whole environment that envelopes the world because we are the internet. Without us, they ain't shit. That's today's presentation. I hope that helps you understand the power and potential of online citizen-led democracy. And I hope that my artwork has just astounded you the way it does me. Thanks so much. And we look forward to seeing you on our next show. And maybe then I'll be able to figure out how to keep my face in the goddamn camera. And remember, thanks, Draco. Democracy offensive, not anonymous. Thanks, guys. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see if yep, there's my Zoom feed. All right, everybody who would like to join us, we we are going to meet after this. We're going to share a Zoom link. We're going to keep this one pretty quick because its primary purpose is to lead into Deborah's live tomorrow, which is the online Suffragette Saturday, where we're trying to get all of you guys to join together. To anyone here who goes and joins Deborah, remember that all of you are going to come there and help her unite women online and help achieve those objectives. So anyone who shared your email with us and you want to meet in the work group, we're all going to take a break and grab a drink of water or whatever, and you will get an email with a Zoom link, and we're going to make this a short group afterward. And we will go from there. Anyone else have anything to say? Draco, you want to, if anyone, does anyone have anything to say? Otherwise, we'll get Draco. We'll leave you with with his agent of peace message for the women of the world. When that ends, we're going to close this show. So take it away, Draco. I kind of threw that at him a bit quick, so we might have to give him just a minute.
Hello, good people. Myself Draco, your agent of peace. I have been working with IOD nations from the very beginning, and we are designing a system where war is never an option. We believe women hold a unique power, the power to stop wars and break the cycle of violence, and we are taking a powerful step forward. By uniting online, women from all over the world are officially forming the International Online Democratic Women's Nation, IOD Women's Nation. This is not only for women. If you believe in peace, freedom and democracy, this is for you, because peace.
If you see the article that's listed here today, it has an email template to send to the attorneys for the survivors of Epstein. We also have all the email addresses there. If you've left an email address with us, we will send you something inviting you to send emails, but you can just open that article, copy and paste the email addresses, end the message, or create your own. And we thank everybody for being here today. And let's make democracy offensive and unite the women of the world. Thanks, everybody.